power is, and we're going to work on that, okay? So I'm going to let him hit me in the ribs. Your job is to break my ribs if you can. It's okay. I'm not going to hit you back. No, wait. I'm going to let him, I'm going to stand here, and his job is to break my ribs. I'm going to stand, give me the hardest hit you got. You're good. You're good.
Don't be afraid. Go ahead.
I promise you. Give me the best hit you got. And I'm going to just demonstrate power. We're going to work on that, so you're good. Harder. Harder. You got to go harder than that.
Sir.
So, okay? So, we're going to talk about the power, okay? If you watch motion, body mechanics, we're going to break down body mechanics for you, okay? And how to generate more power. So, if you do this technique and this principle, okay, it's going to get you anywhere from 8 to 10 times more powerful. So, if you hit 100 pounds of pressure, if you learn this technique, you can hit anywhere from 800 to 1,000, okay? So, I want you to know this rule, okay? 3 proof is foolproof, okay? Proof stands for point rule on one's focus. If you follow these principles, it's going to enhance your power, okay? Well, we're going to break down the body mechanics when he punches, okay? I'm not kidding, don't worry. When we punch, most people are taking their body and they throw, okay? There's a method in which you want to throw. A lot of people, we throw from the shoulders to the wrist, and so we generate power if going like this, and we try to get it, okay? Point rule on one's focus, okay? 3 proof is foolproof. We're going to break down the principles. Point rule, 1, shoulders are used, but they don't go to the hand. The first thing you want to learn to do is take your shoulders and drive it to the elbow. Second rule of drive, elbow goes to the wrist. Third rule of drive, wrist must turn to the point of contact. If you take this point rule, it applies to everything that you do. Hitting, parrying, blocking, locking, it works in every category, okay? This is a rule of energy. This is not about style, it's not about what discipline. This is a rule of energy. It can adapt to your style. It can adapt to your discipline. So it doesn't matter, okay? My discipline is Kung Fu, but it works in karate, it works in boxing, it works in judo. It's energy. Energy is universal, okay? It doesn't classify itself by style or by discipline, okay? So we are going to work on the drives, okay? And like I said, it's called the 3 proof. And if you do this 3 proof, it is foolproof. Our shoulders always goes here. Our drive from here goes to here. And the job of the wrist is to turn to point of contact. The reason why we want to do this is because the first 2 rules is to drive for structure. It creates structural integrity. It's what gives us the ability to withstand pressure and hold pressure. The wrist is very important. It is your final drive of your energy. It is your steering, it is your control, okay? The wrist directs energy. The job of the wrist is to not just create power, but learn to take away power. For example, push into me as hard as you can. If I push, I can create structure, but I don't have control. So he can overpower me if he's strong. Push me hard. No, you gotta push me hard, okay? So by learning how to arc, push. If I arc, but I don't have drive, I collapse, okay? So it's very important we learn to create structure and control, okay? Control is how we dissipate pressure. It's also how we learn to create pressure. So when a guy moves, we take him right off, okay? Now, we're going to work on some training techniques, so I'm going to have you guys partner up. I'm going to break down this routine for you guys so you guys can practice. Practice on your own at home. You don't need a partner. We're going to use a partner just so you can test and see. For example, I'm going to hit you light, I'm going to hit you hard, but just withstand if you can. Okay, you can see he can take it. Here, the effect is different. I gave him about the same force. The difference is I changed the way I focus it. I always tell my students, if you stood out in the sun on a nice sunny day, what happens to your face on a sunny day in 3 minutes? It just kind of makes your face warm. But I put a magnifying glass and I put a beam on your face in 3 minutes, what happens? I put a hole in your face. What changed? The sun didn't change. It's the focus, the intensity of the ray gets focused, okay? If you take a 100-pound guy, 150-pound guy, 200, 250, 300, all the way to a 400-pound guy. If I took a sledgehammer that's about this big and I dropped it on about 50 pounds of pressure, the 100-pound guy might go to the grave. The 150-pound guy go to the hospital, still live. A 200-pound guy might drop on his knees, get back up, all the way up to a 400-pound guy who would probably laugh at you, okay? If you take the same force, sledgehammer, same force, but take that sledgehammer and turn it to a pickaxe. 1 person to 400, they all go down, okay? So it's physics. Okay, this isn't about science in terms of, you gotta meditate, you gotta breathe. It's about understanding how you work your energy. The smaller you focus your energy, the more concentration of power you have. So, we're gonna focus on our hitting. So, when we drive our hits, like I said, first rule, second rule. So we're gonna concentrate on hitting. It works on parries, it works on locks, We're going to focus on hitting today, okay? So when we hit, top 2 knuckles are a drive, okay? Why do we have top 2 knuckles? You all heard it. You guys probably have the same discipline. These 2 knuckles here are supported by your wrist bone, so that helps create the structure. These 2 here, they're not. They share this little common wrist right here, and it's very little support. So when you hit it, you can break your knuckles. So we focus on the top 2, okay? So turning the wrist is very important because that's how you shape your focus. If I go like this and I go like this, can you see my hand? It can turn away, okay? If I do this and I turn my knuckles in, I can create power. So by learning how to hit points, you can hear the difference between me hitting like this and me hitting like this. It's deeper, it's penetrating, okay? Penetrating hits are more effective. There's 2 types of forces that we use, okay? We can describe them as force punches or penetrating punches, okay? Our job is to penetrate. Why? Because if a 250-pound guy comes at me and I'm 100 pounds, can you come at me? Just come at me, just like walk to me. And I go like this, I can get knocked backwards because his size is much bigger, let's say. Well, he's not that much bigger, but if he was, okay? If he came at me again, he's going to stay where he is or drop where he is if I put this power in here. And you notice I don't need my size, I don't need to use force. A lot of times we talk about getting strong stances is because our structure's weak. Okay, if our structure's weak, we have to support that. Think of a vertical beam. If you put pressure on a vertical beam, you can take a lot of pressure. If you bow it, the pressure goes to where the bow is. So if you can't fix the structure, what do? You take a beam where the bow is and you drive that to the ground, which is like what we do here if we take that strong stance. If you can increase your structure, you don't need it. Not saying you don't need to use it, you can, it's not necessary, okay? You can have it if you want to, but you don't need it. So imagine if you're building a building and you made a bow, you'd have to put a support and everything. It's going to cost you more time, more money, and it's taking up more space. If you can create your structural integrity, you don't need as much movement, okay? So we're going to focus on that, okay? So what I'm going to have you guys practice today is you guys are going to raise your shoulders up to your ears, and you're going to push your shoulders down, okay? So this is what I want you guys to do first. I want you to raise it to your ears and push your shoulders down so you can feel the weight, okay? So I'm going to have them do this. I want to put your hand on my elbow. Can you use the other hand too? Okay. So if I go like this and do I look like I'm driving my shoulders to my elbow? Okay? If I do this, can you feel that? If you use just 2 hands, he'd go down just as easy. Okay? So you can see what I'm doing here. This is the first technique. Second technique, elbow goes to the wrist. So you're going to go 1, okay? And you're going to do 2. So you're going to shoulders down the elbow. You're going to drive your elbow to your wrist. The third step is you're going to turn your palm. Now there's ways to turn. I'm going to use just palms to make it easy. You can turn this way, turn it this way. There's a lot of ways. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So thank you. I'm going to do someone else. Okay? So I'm going to show you just our focus right now. So I'm going to hit her as hard as I can. She's going to take as much. No, I'm kidding. So if we go like this, I want you to imagine putting your right hand on left hand. Then you use right hand. She's going to take this and she's going to drive it here. So I'm going to push it backwards on left hand. Okay? Now, don't think that. Think shoulder drives down to the elbow first. So you're going to tuck that elbow down. Then you're going to drive the elbow to your wrist and you're going to turn your knuckles to my palm. So do that now. So turn that this way, yeah. So you see now it's a lot harder. Okay, why? Her structural integrity is much greater. So she's going to take more pressure. The turn of the knuckles, take any force that I do, and it drives back to me. That's why we turn the wrist. We direct force. This way, I could just use 1 finger. Okay, I'm going to use 1 finger. And it could be with anybody. I'll just use that for now. Open hand. Your job. So do you think the whole entire body is stronger than my 1 finger? Yeah, strong. If I just push backwards, if I do this, she's going to hurt me. Do it again. No, push it. So now, you can see it changed. Why did I change? Because it changed the way I focused my energy. I'm not going against her. I'm controlling her. Okay? And when we strike, striking is about controlling your point. Okay? We do damage, we do effect, we do control because of the contact point. Contact point means control point. Now whether we use it to defend or attack, it's the same. So I'm going to use I'm not hit this. I'm going to use this. Okay? So if I did this, and I'm going to just push it. Don't let me take good steps. Take a good step, so I can switch backwards. Right. So I just go like this, and I just push my body so you can withstand it. I drive my wrist. Different effect. Same force. I didn't use any more. You see, I didn't go like, ah! I just went because of the way I focused, okay? So I want you guys to practice this. We're going to partner up, okay? And we're going to do this drill. Now, you can do it with your hand or you can do it with your face. This drill is good because this is what we call pressure testing. It's to see if you can do it well without having to hurt them because this hurts. It's like fighting with a sharp knife every time. You're going to hurt them. So you can't do full force because it's going to cause full effect. So she's going to like put her hand on my face or my fist or my palm. So you're going to drive, so push my face backwards. If I can do this, I collapse, and she did not project her energy. So this is a good way that you guys can practice at home if you have a partner. So she's got to think shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist, wrist turn. So the top 2 knuckles drive to my face. Oh, there you go. That was my friend. You see? Now I got effective because now it's not pushing me, it's piercing me. You're not hitting past the guy, you're hitting into the guy. Okay? So that was the right projection. See, I'm not giving it to her. She didn't do it right. She's not going to get it. See her shoulder go up? Drive down first. Because she's trying to right now take her shoulders to her hand. Shoulders must drive the elbow first. Drive the elbow, then elbow up to the wrist, and turn the wrist to me. So when I go like this, you can see the effect. So we're going to practice this right now, so you guys can partner up. Think shoulder to elbow, all the rest. I'm going to have you guys pair up, and I'm going to have my students come around and help you as well as I am, so we can talk about it.